Welcome to another conversation with the Brothers of Two Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video. But before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We now have the goal of 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, help us get there. And also, of course, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the bangers that we drop every single week. We appreciate the support. Enjoy the video. In the wake of this whole Drake Kendrick beef, man, there has been not just one, because I don't know if you've seen the other ones too, but not just one reference track drop, because Drake had Mob Ties and 6 other alleged reference tracks have leaked saying that, basically, I don't know if y'all know what a reference track is, but basically that Drake basically stole the song, pretty much, if for lack of a better explanation. D-Lo,
not really stole though.
Well, he referenced it, but it's different. It's different from ghostwriting or having somebody co-write or co-produce. Like, you put thoughts together, low key. Like, this is something, a reference track, from my understanding, is he heard something, used the beat, the melody, and a lot of the words. He might have changed a little bit up, but he used the actual song and made it his own, like, by changing it, tweaking it maybe just a little bit. In the I don't know how Drake is the only
my
one
understanding of stuff is all messed up. Then
what did you understand a reference track to be?
I thought a reference track was like the song was made for the person that's actually going to perform it, but it was written and produced. Obviously produced, but it was written and written by somebody else, and then that person sings it how they intended, or perform it how they intended to be. So the person that's actually going to be releasing it under their name knows how the cadence goes, how's the so on and so forth go. I always think of singers because they have a lot of reference tracks and whatnot. When you go R&B, like Neo, which I was going to mention it in my portion, he did oh my goodness, The Best I Ever Had by Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be for him apparently, but he didn't. He thought he was going to get a lot of backlash for saying he could have another female come shortly after she leaves, and so he passed it to Beyonce, and we all know it became a smash for Beyonce. But anyway,
hold up,
he
Best I Ever Had or Irreplaceable?
One of the two.
To the left.
Nah, Best I Ever Had. No.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right. Irreplaceable. You're right. Yeah.
But it says a reference track is a professionally produced song from another artist that can be used as a model for the desired sound of your own music. You can listen to reference tracks before or while you mix to compare your song sounds with a commercially available song. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It is. You see what I'm saying? So to me, he is taking this song.
He's stealing. Yeah.
He's stealing the song, basically. He's paying for a song from somebody else and making it his own song. And he's singing it for himself. Right.
Yeah.
Bars and all. He might change some of the stuff, but everything else is basically the same. So does this kind of, just kind of like, what we was, what the actual ad says, does this kind of diminish his credibility in the rap game now, though, is really the question.
Well, I was going to originally say, before we actually got the clear definition of what a reference track is, that no, it doesn't, because we know who Drake is. We found out who he was 7 to 10 years ago when we found out he had ghostwriters, right? So for us to now, after he comes out of the heat of the battle with Kendrick and all this stuff has been released about him, and then these different reference tracks have been released, for us to say that we feel differently about him now would be crazy. But now, understanding what the true definition of a reference track is, maybe we should, if he is in fact stealing these tracks or completely taking the cadences and all of that from individuals that wasn't intended for him and making it his own, we probably should feel some type of way. But Drake really isn't if we're looking at it from a rap sense, Drake, yeah, we probably should feel differently about him. But Drake, and we've said it on the show quite a few times, Drake is not a traditional rap artist. He's a pop artist now.
He's a pop
and
artist.
So when you go to that pop route, it's more collaboration when it comes to creating songs than it is in rap. Like in rap, for whatever reason, you're supposed to create the music on your own. You're supposed to, your pen is supposed to. You're supposed
to have a superior pen. Yeah,
you're the one that's supposed to be penning your words, not somebody else for you. I don't know why that is, and we know it happens in rap. Even people try to keep it under hush, but we know it happens in rap still. But for somebody that's considered the top of the top, he's supposed to be doing it on his own. So I'm conflicted now because of I know now hearing the true definition of it, it makes me kind of question my own thoughts about it. But my original argument coming into this is we shouldn't look at him any different light. But that's just me.
But I mean, I've never necessarily looked at Drake as a rapper though. Just like you just said, I enjoy Drake's music. Don't get me wrong. Like he's got some bangers. He's got some banger albums. Got some banger singles. Got some banger features, of course. But it's like I've never looked at Drake as this. Don't make me look no differently at Drake. I mean, I think he lost the rap beef personally. I thought it was a little closer than at the beginning, but once Kendrick started going crazy, it was a wrap for Buddy. But
yeah,
I don't think I look any differently at him. I just didn't expect. I don't expect much from Drake. I just expect Drake to drop good music, and I don't. If he can produce a song that you thought about producing yourself and make it and produce it better than you, then as long as you get credit for your part in the song, then what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I just don't. I personally don't care because I don't look at Drake as a rapper. I don't look at Drake as an Eminem type of rapper or even a Kendrick Lamar type of rapper. Even though Drake is one of the highest selling rappers of all, or I'm gonna say this, one of the highest selling artists of all time. I don't expect Drake to go out here and pen one of the most fire songs out here that we've ever heard before, and it be his actual bars. I don't expect that from Drake. So, I mean,
we also have heard from other artists like Kanye, who has beef with Drake now, also that he's requested Drake to come help him write stuff.
True.
And
I've heard that too.
That serves as another point, though, is why is it certain individuals that we look at and say they're stealing music or they got ghostwriters, but somebody else is completely telling you that they're asking people to come write for them, and we don't look at them in a different light. I mean, I know Kanye is seen as a producer first and then an artist, but I mean, Kanye has created some amazing music in across his career that we feel like is his own. So I don't know. To me, it's just weird.
I mean, the one that everybody was talking about this week was Mob Ties, of course, and the old boy, Voria's alleged reference track. But Ratchet Happy Birthday was also one that people were saying. Jumbotron shit popping on the Her Loss album. Calling for You on the For All the Dogs album. Rico, of course, saying that Quentin, that's one of the most infamous Quentin Miller ghost written songs. 10 Bands was also written by Quentin Miller. And then Legend, that was written by Party Next Door. So, Legend was the actual reference track too, because I think Party was going to actually sing that on his own album. And Legend is a fire song too. I ain't gonna lie. Like I love Legend. And I mean 10 Bands too. 10 Bands is one of my favorite songs on the If You Read This Is Too Late album. So I mean, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like who really expects, and we were talking about light skin face at the beginning of the song. Who actually at the beginning of the episode, who actually expects light skin Drake, who came up, who didn't come up in the things that he talking about to actually be writing most of this shit? I don't personally. I love his delivery. Like he delivers the songs very, very well. You know, that's why he's one of the most entertaining people in hip hop and pop culture history. Like, so, but I mean, to be perfectly honest, who give a fuck, bro? Like, let the man put out great music. Who cares, dog? Like,
apparently somebody does.
But all of this stuff is coming out now because of the beef with Kendrick, and Kendrick is so known for his pen and known for being that conscious rapper and known for putting out stuff that he has never been known or ever been exposed for having a ghostwriter ever. But Drake, over the past, like you said, almost a decade now.
Well. They tried to say that one of his artists may have been responsible for a few of his tracks. I forgot the dude's name now. Damn. Hold on. Let me
Baby Keem?
Kendrick. Yes, Baby Keem. Good job. Yep, him. Mm-hmm. He's responsible for some of the stuff that, some of the music that goes.
Baby Keem, dope though, and I mean, I can see that happening, honestly. Yeah. But see, is it that he wrote it, or it was like co-produced, like co-write, like they put their minds together, like what Drake is talking about in most of these interviews when he's questioned about having ghostwriters? Is it two people saying how can this be better, or is it him actually writing it for him and Kendrick is spitting it out, something that maybe
I think it depends on what side of the narrative you are on.
True.
If you're on the side of Kendrick's side, they're collaborating. If you're on the other side of Kendrick, then maybe Keem
he ghostwrote it,
writing it for it. You know what I mean? So it just depends.
Yeah, it does. It definitely depends. I mean, okay, but now that we're into that conversation, then do we like consciously look to diminish the careers of these guys then, if that's the case? So like of our top dogs, do we look to diminish it on purpose?
Yeah.
Like
I don't think we look to diminish it on purpose. I think, it only seems that way because of social media. Because, the saying goes, you can't please everybody. And so I think what happens when people get to a certain level, when they get to the top of their respective professions, you have the attention of everybody. And so naturally, there are going to be some that hate you. There are going to be some that love you. And so what happens is the negative always gets amplified more than the positive. And so when the negative gets amplified more than the positive, it seems like every little thing that comes out, people pile on to that, people tag on to that, try to get their 15 minutes of fame also based off of your fame. And then it just continues, the momentum builds and builds and builds. And then from there, now it seems like we're creating chaos to hate on somebody, when in reality, it's just, in the past, you had a few media outlets voicing their opinions to the masses. Now you have a few media outlets voicing their opinions to the masses. And then you have the masses also attaching their opinions to what the media outlets are saying, and it's easily accessible. And so you do feel like we try to create things for those at the top to diminish their careers. We do it every show. Braun is a prime example.
I was just about to say that too. Yeah,
currently, and we'll talk about her lately too. Caitlin Clark is also a prime example. Drake, in this instance, is a prime example. It seems like we look for things to say, okay, your time at the top has been a little too long. It's time for you to go. But I don't think it's the case.
But you're absolutely right, though. With the age of social media, things that are supposed to be behind closed doors are now come to the forefront. Because I don't think if most people didn't know that Ice Cube was writing all them songs for NWA until the movie came out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that because
Jay-Z wrote Still DRE for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
You see what I'm saying? I mean? So most people didn't know that, because now in the social media age, you have these people that are reporting all of these things, and people get to have their opinion about it. And just like, with the whole Drake situation, you're going to have people who can't stand Drake's music that's going to attach to that, like D-Lo said, and run with it and give their own opinions. Now there's conversations being had to people, not just in North Carolina. Now there's people in California conversing with somebody in North Carolina about their opinion, and now they're going back and forth debating on whether or not this person is genuine or not. If they're actually writing their music, if they actually got reference tracks, and especially if they are on one side of the fence, like with the Kendrick thing, if they love Kendrick, they gonna just completely hate on Drake anyway, and vice versa. So social media has changed a lot of this, man, because back in the day, man, you didn't know who had ghostwriters or not. But then whenever it started popping off that, people started, accusing Jay-Z of stealing lines from Biggie and going back and forth in that instance, that's whenever the social media was really starting to pop off back in the early 2000s. So it's like, Bruh, like people are. If you love the music, you love the music. Who gives a fuck who wrote it or what the person who referenced it? Just enjoy the music. I didn't care about a lot of this. I used to go crazy with the 10 band, 100 bands. Fuck it, man. Let's just not even discuss it, man. I love that song. I still listen to it to this day. I don't give a fuck if Quentin Miller wrote it or not. Good job, Quentin. Like, what the fuck? Like,
as long as they're getting their due,
their credit for it,
creating that, the credit and the money that comes behind it. Shoot, have everybody write your music for you. All I care. That's how I feel. But if you just flat out stealing it, and which is, I think that's what people are trying to say is like he's just flat out stealing. If he's just flat out stealing, that's a whole nother can of worms. But I don't think that's what Drake is doing. At least I hope it's not. So.
But he is giving these people their due for their help on these albums and these songs. He is. I mean, it's all in the credits in his in his albums. So
right,
it is what it is, bro. I don't personally care. I think D-Lo's on the same boat with that.
I'm in the same boat for real.